Welcome into To Your Health. We are so honored today. We have my doctor, Dr. Nina Nelson-Garrett. And Nina, it is so nice to have you. You just do so many good things for our entire community. And gastroenterology is your specialist,
That's
but
correct.
you are doing something a little bit off your beaten path.
That's true.
And you have actually written a book.
Yes.
And I would love for you to share with us some of the information.
But first of all, you also, in your practice, is my doctor, Dr. White.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's right. Right.
So-
Capital City Gastroenterology. That's
right.
correct.
We take care of those
We
people,
can
and they
vouch
take
for
care
them.
of us. We can vouch
Absolutely,
for them.
absolutely.
Yeah. Just give us something better to drink.
Okay.
You can do that. I'm just kidding you.
I'm working on that. Okay, yes. So just a little bit about the book.
Okay.
It's a book that I actually started almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
It was written out of the sadness of after my mom's death. And initially I started out as journaling, and then just to kind of deal with my pain. Then I realized, you know what, I might have a book here. Shared it with one of my really good friends who's a physician, and she didn't respond. So I thought, wow, this is weird. Maybe I'm not as good a writer as I thought I was. But it turns out she was actually dealing with her own diagnosis of breast cancer. And what I was writing in the book, she said I was writing her pain, so she couldn't respond. And then a few months later, my sister called me, and she was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer.
My goodness.
And so from the book, it's a book of fiction, but I wrote about a physician and how would she feel about having that diagnosis. And the reason it's a little interesting, if you will, is that she had been told her mammogram was normal 3 months prior, has a fall at work, and then discovers what she thinks is a hematoma, but it turns out to be a cancer. And actually, that's how my mother was diagnosed. My mother was also a breast cancer survivor, and she fell in a hotel. She called me a couple of weeks after that fall and told me she felt something. And I told her, look, your mammogram was fine. You shouldn't have to worry, but see your doctor anyway. And not only did she have a 2.5 centimeter cancer, which is about the size of a quarter, she also had a positive lymph node. And at that point, I was just kind of in survival mode with my mom. I wasn't thinking about why did this happen. And then she ultimately died a couple of years later, not from the cancer, but some other issues. And so again, as I journaled, I thought, what would I do? And so the doctor, Grace, in the book, who's the lead character, she is dealing with something similar. But she then wants to go home. And the majority of this book really is about that family journey and going back to her hometown of Jackson, Mississippi, which happens to be my hometown. And just coming to grips with, you try to be the superwoman, but you realize you need family, you need friends, and most of all, you need God. And so that's essentially what the book is about. I think it's a feel-good book. I've been told it's heart-wrenching. I've been told it was a beautiful story. And I'm just honored that I've been able to get through the process. It was a journey. I put it down after my friend and my sister were diagnosed with breast cancer because I thought, am I speaking this into their life or what's happening? And then I picked it back up after my pastor's wife mentioned at a New Year's Eve service about 3 years ago. She said, somebody in here has a book that's still in your laptop and you've done nothing with it. And I thought, boy, how does she know me? And so that led me back to going through a lot of editorial processes, and now I'm here.
So how do we get the book?
So there are several ways. First of all, let me tell you, we'll be having a book signing at the Montgomery Cancer Center on October 23rd from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Okay.
So if you want a signed copy, I'll have books there and you can come and get a signed copy. But also I have a website. It's called www.gracewillleadyouhome.com. So you can go, you can go there.
The title of the book?
Yes.
And we're showing the book on the screen, so and we are going to put the website up also.
Sure, so you can order it there, but it's also on Amazon, iTunes, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, Spark Ingram or Ingram Spark. It's on a lot of places that you can also get copies of the book. And I know a lot of young people or just people in general like ebooks, and it is also available in an ebook.
Well, Dr. Garrett, if you had to pick two things that you think your book would do to help people through journeys with breast cancer or frankly any kind of cancer.
Exactly.
What would they be?
I think what I did some retro or introspection myself with this book, and I think it lets you know you need support when you're going through a process. Not to hold everything in. Look to your family, look to your friends, and also just to have a level of faith that will keep you going through the journey, and that resonated with me. But again, family. Just I'm a family oriented person.
Yes, you are.
And so I think this is mainly about family, and it's I think again a feel good book. I didn't want to write negative. We've got so much negative in our world,
True.
and I think this is something that people can use to move them forward. There are, at the back of the book, you'll have some websites that you can go to about breast cancer facts. I list some breast cancer facts there, but I also have testimonials of 3 women. One is Dr. Patricia Elliott, who used to be here in Montgomery, who's a breast cancer survivor. My sister, as I mentioned, breast cancer survivor, and then Dr. Robin Jones, who's had a recurrence of breast cancer. And so they tell very heart-wrenching stories about what they felt like when they were told, hey, you've got breast cancer. And so, and then at the very end, I did a little workbook where people can sit down and say, okay, how would I feel if?
Yes.
What would I do if? And so you can just write it out for yourself, and hopefully it'll help people.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
First
you.
and foremost, for being such a great physician.
Amen.
Thank you.
You do a great job.
Thank you.
And second of all, for this wonderful book.
Thank you.
And we're very fortunate in Montgomery to
We
have
are.
some wonderful, wonderful medical people.
We are.
Just remember, cancer is nothing to fool with.
Right.
Keep yourself in good health. More importantly, get checkups, and we'll be right back right after this.